What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Uchiha 3, long face, skinny body. We are back, still black, with some more fire Boruto anime manga content. Today we got Boruto Chapter 78 official release. Those y'all who already been in tune with the spoilers, we already have the good idea of how things already went down. But now that we have the full chapter out, it's time to discuss the business. Let's get into it, yes, Sasukes.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
Right, so starting off, bro, like the cover page was fire. It's smooth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Blue is really, I never thought about it like that, but blue really is Naruto color. Like the cover page was hard. I think one of the only other hardest Naruto covers we got, his Baryon mode cover was pretty hard, but out of the top two, I would say this one and then the one with his Sage mode right before he went to encounter Cold during the Cold arc. I don't even remember what chapter that was. Somewhere in the 60s though, I believe. But the color schemes on Naruto do be hard, and one of these days we might even see a black and blue like somebody's eyeball on Naruto in his outfits, and I'm not gonna be one to complain for it. But we got Chapter 78. It's titled Super Idiot. I never even realized that was the title when the spoilers came out, but Super Idiot, right? So a lot of things going down in the chapter. Essentially what we covered over in the spoiler video was the main thing that everybody wanted to talk about. Boruto getting his eye scar from Kawaki, and essentially MoMoshiki taking over and doing what MoMoshiki does best, which is what Kawaki has been starting to do in these last few chapters, aka pushing the story forward. So Momoshiki popping up at the end of the chapter, and a whole lot of things getting kick started into high gear. So straying away from so much focus on the Boruto and Kawaki scuffle, all in all, the chapter was a hard chapter. Nothing like, oh my gosh, like jaw dropping, because I already was able to encounter these spoilers, but definitely a 10 out of a 10 regardless of the fact. 10 out of a 10 chapter, hands down. We get to see how Ada's power is actually operating. So it's like essentially she's sitting in a room watching Naruto and Kawaki have this conversation again, and then when she gives the beans, right, she spills it, and Sarada hears it for the first time that Kawaki was the one that killed Boruto. She starts to feel the typical, shonen trope. She starts to feel helpless and defenseless and responsible for not being able to be present when initially the danger actually occurred, but now this is the time where she actually has an opportunity to do something and not stand by. So she's gonna take that, right? Now, what I didn't understand when the spoilers actually dropped, Sarada popped up in the scene, tried to shish kebab my guy Kawaki with a fireball jutsu. Kawaki absorbed that thing easily, looking at Sarada like she is dumb, stupid, or dumb, right? But anyways, moving forward, when down, Shikamaru was surprised getting all of this information from Ada. Sumire and Shikamaru, I should say, try to calm down Sarada before she exits the vicinity, and Boruto chasing after Boruto, and Boruto comes across Kawaki when Kawaki tries to Sukuna Hukuna or Daikokoten that man right on top of the Stone Cold faces, right? So we get this cold shot that I don't want to say it parallels, because not everything is a parallel in Boruto, but a slight callback or just a little bit of a foreshadowing with Boruto and Kawaki standing on top of the Hokage faces, looking across each other, once Boruto initially absorbs Kawaki's Sukuna Daiko Koten space-time jutsu, and that's when Kawaki and Boruto come across the conversation. So now we have the clarification, actually, though, right, of where my guy Naruto has been chilling. So I'm thinking he's finna be growing a beard, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Gives a couple of back massages to Hinata, chilling, drinking some green tea out of some leaves and stuff. But nah, my guy Naruto and Hinata are frozen in time, where time is not actually moving. So they're not gonna age, or they're not gonna go hungry, right? That's what Kawaki is telling Boruto. Then he follows up with a fire line, is basically saying, but Boruto, you will never see them again. So now we have confirmation. Right, we have confirmation, because one of the first things Kawaki tries to do in this chapter when he sees Boruto is to seal Boruto away, right? And then he says, looks like sealing you away won't work. And one of the first things we see Boruto and Kawaki talk about in the first chapter, in the first episode, is Kawaki sending Boruto where he sent Naruto. Now, understanding that this is becoming much more solidified, even though this is what everybody initially believed at the release of Chapter 77, that Kawaki has sent Naruto away, and the Naruto will be officially going out of this story until who knows when, and that point where we see in the flash forward scene, Naruto is still sent away. It looks like that's actually going to be the case, and it's holding very firm to be true, because everybody is not even going to let things settle down. Even after the end of the chapter, Shikamaru is not on some, okay, Kawaki has escaped, let's regroup and recuperate. No, they are on a manhunt for Kawaki right now, because everybody in the village is completely freaking out for the fact that Lord Seventh and Lady Hinata's chakra has suddenly disappeared. A whole lot of sick shots in this chapter, right? A whole lot of sick shots. Now, I'm not going to spend this review talking too much about the details that we can speculate and theorize in the chapter overall, just letting y'all know my thoughts, because all in all, bro, a whole lot of things are being unfolded that we are expecting and we've been asking questions about since the start of Boruto. Like, for instance, where is Naruto? How did Boruto get his scar? Who is this Kawaki guy? A lot of those answers have been answered many years ago, but we're still getting answers up until this day, finally seeing, okay, what happened to Naruto, and seeing how Boruto actually got his eye scarred. Now, focusing more so on the interaction between Boruto and Kawaki, I'm talking S tier animation when this thing drops. Anything less, you know what I'm saying, all they're gonna do is increase my hate for this guy Metal Lee. Side note, Boruto and his whole entire generation just needs to come together and jump this guy Metal Lee for no specific reason. I just really don't like that man. But now back to the main plot of the story, right? So Momoshiki is essentially freeing this guy Kawaki, and it's a cold shot when we see Boruto starts to open his eye. We start to see the Byakugan, we see the blood still dripping down his eye. Everybody is shocked, from Sasuke, from Konohamaru. Wow, they even brought that man into the important scene like this. And my guy Kawaki, they all have the same expressions on their face. Soon as Boruto starts to open his eye, his karma seal starts to spread again. Now, I was misinformation. I spread some of that in my spoiler video, assuming that Boruto was in his true essence form when fighting Kawaki, but it seems like both of them were in their stage 1 karma forms, up until the point even when Sarada showed up and Boruto getting his eye scarred, and then we see the true essence form being activated once Momoshiki takes over. I'm calling it the true essence form because Momoshiki didn't take over to the point where the broken horn grew on top of Boruto's head. Now, Kawaki trying to get an explanation similar to everybody and their mom in this chapter as to why Momoshiki actually freed Kawaki, and we understand the reasoning behind that, us as the readers, being that Momoshiki needs Kawaki for the divine tree. He needs to cultivate the tree, and in order to cultivate the tree, you gotta feed it Otsutsuki. Right now, Momoshiki only knows of him and Kawaki as being full Otsutsuki that can actually put his plan into fruition. So it makes sense as when you think about it on that type of scenario as to why Momoshiki let him free. I really do enjoy that idea. Boruto pretending to be Momoshiki and freeing Kawaki, ultimately giving Kawaki a chance to escape and allowing Boruto to probably confront Kawaki by himself, knowing that this is something that Kawaki or even Boruto would most likely do in a scenario like this. I wouldn't rule that out. However, the mannerisms in Momoshiki's face and hands kind of basically says that this is Momoshiki, but when you see the dialogue, right, when you see the dialogue towards Kawaki, that sounds just like Boruto, more like a more serious demeanor type of Boruto. When we seen Boruto enter True Essence for the first time versus Code, his demeanor and his dialogue kind of slightly changed, but you can still tell it was Boruto talking, and I got the same type of vibes in this chapter where his demeanor and his dialogue definitely kind of changed. And then when you see Momoshiki pop up, they're not even talking about, oh, why are you freeing Kawaki? Boruto isn't even asking him, what are you doing? Why would you do that to Kawaki? It's more so about the fact that, oh, you just lost your blue eye and things are about to be getting kicked into high gear in terms of you losing everything. So keep your eye open, no pun intended, my guy. That's basically what Momoshiki tells this guy Boruto. So nothing about him freeing Kawaki. So in terms of that whole instance right there, I'm definitely going to do some more videos diving into deeper details as to the possibility of Boruto actually being the one to free Kawaki. But as of right now, it makes sense for it to be Momoshiki, and understanding that Momoshiki needs Kawaki alive and needs Kawaki for his own personal reasons. So Kawaki actually ends up escaping the village, and we have a whole lot of nice scenes. All in all, like I said, it was a 10 out of a 10 chapter. One of the most important things that I feel like people are overlooking is Mitsuki's reaction, not just to Kawaki, but to Boruto himself, which more even solidifies the fact that there was something weird about Momoshiki popping up, more than just, oh, Momoshiki obviously needs Kawaki to feed him to the divine tree, but why would he let him go, knowing that the Hidden Leaf Shinobi aren't one to just simply kill someone right on the spot, but still accepting the fact that my son Batman Sensei was up on the scene and he was not finna hesitate to cut off Kawaki's head. Sasuke really is about it, and he let people know as soon as he pulled up, like, bro, I don't want to do it, but I won't hesitate. Now try me, right? And after that, Kawaki wasn't able to make a move, all thanks to my god Shikamaru's shadow paralysis jutsu. However, you see the look that Mitsuki is giving Boruto, and even the answer that he is giving Boruto. It's like one of those type of you know. And Mitsuki, one being the main person to always observe Boruto, being one of the first people to understand, okay, Boruto is something's going on with Boruto and his whole entire seal, and he believed that it was Momoshiki that had anything to do with it. Mitsuki was one of the first people to figure that out. So now the way that he's looking at Boruto, it just further backs up the idea that Boruto possibly was the one pretending to be Momoshiki, just to calm the situation down for the time being. We already seen the flash forward scene, so this hunt for Kawaki is not dying down anytime soon. Like I said, Shikamaru is in a dire situation, and the fact that Naruto and Hinata just randomly vanished, they don't have time. Even if the enemy decided to retreat, they don't have time to regroup and recuperate. They have to be on 10 at all times. So that's the plan right now, to wait for Kawaki to exhaust as much chakra as possible in them to continue the search, which would ultimately lead into the flash forward scene that we've seen Boruto have in the previous chapters. One thing that just still confuses me is in that flash forward scene, we see Boruto's Byakugan. Now, it's unclear based off of the way the manga paneled it. At first, one would believe that Boruto's Byakugan, those shots that we've seen in those flash forward scenes, was Boruto in that time period, during the time where we see Sage Mitsuki and Sarada actively looking for Kawaki, and Kawaki with his horn up. After the events of this chapter, we know that Boruto has his eyes scarred, so it could be safe to say that those scenes where we see Boruto's Byakugan was just him peering into the future rather than him looking at scenes where he's actually in himself, because we know that Boruto will be having his scar and his eye has lost all visibility. All in all, 10 out of 10 chapter. Like I stated, I'm really excited to see how much more things are going to be developing, and to see what's the truth behind this Momoshiki helping Kawaki escape, or Boruto possibly pretending to be Momoshiki. It's your boy Black Uchiha 3. Boruto chapter 78 was gas. Comment below, let me know how y'all feel about the chapter, and what are the most exciting things y'all saw this chapter unfold. It's your boy, holla at your boy, I'ma holla at y'all. Black Uchiha, yes sir, ski.
We take a trip to the sky, show them that our limits too high.
Cocoa butter hips on the west side. She said